Tonight, a nuclear dump site at Kimber given the green light. We look at the community reaction. And Port Lincoln recovers from major flooding with dozens of homes and businesses inundated.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with Louise Hedger begins now.
Good evening, everyone. A property near Kimber has been announced as the home to the National Radioactive Waste Management Facility. But the decision has not been welcomed by all, with opponents vowing to fight against it.
It's been a long-haul battle over where to construct Australia's nuclear waste facility. But after almost 5 years and countless votes, the decision has been made.
100% of the people who have land directly adjacent to the proposed site are in support of the facility as well. So this is a pretty big tick, and on that basis, the Minister has announced that we'll be going ahead with the Kimber site, the Napandi site.
It was a toss-up between the town of Hawker and Kimber to host the site, the Minister ruling out Hawker late last year. Kimber's mayor hoping the town can now move forward.
Now the decision's been made, at least we can put that path behind us and continue on the path to construction.
The next steps in the process will see possible changes to the current legislation, from the land size purchase to the compensation to the town.
Those kinds of things I think are relatively minor, but they need to be done in legislation. They can't be done by regulation.
The town will now get a $31 million package to support the construction.
We've got $8 million in funding to continue to develop skills and businesses in the preparation for the construction.
However, it's not being welcomed by all. Protesters out in Kimber on Sunday, just a day after the announcement.
Look, the opposition will still remain, and we'll be looking at all avenues that we can to help us stop this. There's no doubt about that.
A decision which has separated the town.
We've lost some people from Kimber already because of this protest. I'm not going to hide from that fact. And people will assess themselves what they'll do in the future. I can't say people will definitely, but I know that some are really upset about this.
Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
SA Health is working closely with regional doctors following confirmed cases of the coronavirus in South Australia. Authorities are urging residents across the region to remain vigilant but not to panic.
Regional health authorities on high alert with the coronavirus felt nationwide.
I feel confident that the public health system in South Australia will be able to deal with this. To put it in perspective, we've had 2 cases. We've had 12 cases Australia-wide.
Residents are being urged to remain vigilant with flu-like symptoms, but reminded not to panic. Local practitioners receiving up-to-date information to ensure they're well prepared.
This advice is evolving as we learn more about the condition. Our public health clinicians are not going to stick with old advice for the sake of it.
However, regional doctors say while residents should remain aware, it's important to keep calm.
Not join up in the mass hysteria that's going on everywhere, including in Australia, have run out of face masks from the chemists. And that's really mass hysteria, I believe.
Health authorities warn any residents who have recently travelled to China are most at risk.
If that's the case, then present to your nearest medical facility, I would think that's your GP, and identify that you've travelled to that region or you've been in contact with someone who's just come back from that region.
For more information, contact your local practitioner. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Residents in Port Lincoln are counting the costs of last week's floods and have embarked on the massive clean-up effort. Businesses quickly became inundated as the heavens opened above the town, causing chaos.
When it rains, it pours. Port Lincoln bore the brunt of Friday's unstoppable storm, causing chaos across the region. Homes and businesses quickly became inundated as more than 76 millimetres of rain dropped on the town within an hour.
So this is the state of affairs at the moment.
Roads became raging rapids while cars were left submerged as floodwaters rose.
To all the cars down there at Woolies. Shocking. Over a metre deep.
Furniture was left upturned at several schools. This newly renovated classroom was completely destroyed, staff forced to rip up carpet.
It's going to be as nearly as bad as a fire. I think things would have flooded away.
The monsoon-type storm brought with it dozens of lightning strikes. One family had a lucky escape after a bolt of lightning caused his carport to come crashing down.
Well, I was terrified because I was out here to start with, so I ran around back inside. So I was glad it didn't hit me.
The town's newly constructed stormwater pump had to be switched on, although it wasn't ready to be operated.
The new Eyre Street, Liverpool Street pump station did operate. It wasn't unable to operate at full capacity because it hadn't been fully commissioned.
More than 5.5 million litres was flushed out of businesses as pumps worked on overdrive. It was deja vu for many businesses here on Liverpool Street who were also flooded back in 2016.
We've got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of damage, but we've been through this before. We'll have to just work through this one as well.
City traders are now counting the costs as the massive clean-up effort continues. A front-end loader called in to help remove more than 10 tonnes of debris from the main street.
It's just unbelievable. We've been through this so many times.
Other parts of the region also got us soaking, with Port Augusta recording 67 mils, while drought-stricken Cleve only got 20 mils. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A police raid at a Port Pirie home has uncovered a significant amount of drugs, cash and drug paraphernalia. 2 people were arrested following the seizures in a move police have labelled a win for the community.
12 bags of cannabis and 2 grams of ecstasy now taken off our streets. A Port Pirie West home was the target of a police search Friday morning as part of an ongoing investigation.
It's something that's been an ongoing investigation for some time.
A 61-year-old Port Pirie woman was arrested and charged for trafficking a controlled drug, whilst a 24-year-old male was also arrested and charged for hindering a police search. Police allege $1,800 in cash and drug paraphernalia were also found at the property.
Members from the Drug Investigation Branch did attend to inspect the equipment that was seized, and the person has been subsequently charged with possession of prescribed equipment.
In Port Wakefield, a Port Pirie man was also arrested and charged for drug driving after crashing this car Saturday night just after 10. Also alleged he was found in possession of 30 grams of methamphetamine.
He was arrested and charged with driving without due care and also possession of a controlled drug, and he's been bailed to attend court at a later date.
Police urge anyone with information regarding these incidents to contact Crime Stoppers. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, the Whyalla Jetty not far from completion and an unusual robbery at a Port Augusta service station. Hello again. A Port Pirie man has become $692 richer after winning Saturday's Lotto draw over the weekend. The man, who wants to remain anonymous, was alerted of the winnings on Sunday morning after he purchased his ticket online. He says he was completely shocked and is looking forward to a retirement with a lot more fishing. The iconic loop in Whyalla's new jetty is now visible with the addition of concrete planks. Local businesses are getting excited for its completion, saying it will drive more tourists down to the foreshore.
The start of an impressive loop that's been the talk of the town in Whyalla for months. The donut-shaped structure, the first of its kind in the Southern Hemisphere, on schedule for completion.
At the moment you can see the barge out there as well as a crane on top of the jetty there. So they're currently putting on a headstock, getting ready for some final stringers for the donut area.
66 new piles have been driven into the seabed, with 40 more to go. Maritime Construction's ready to start installing the rest of the piles, completing the third and final section of the jetty.
We've got around another 50 metres in length to go out from the donut where they're at now, which will give us a total of 165 metres.
Local beach cafe owner Nicholas Petropoulos says he hopes the jetty's opening brings more business.
It is good work happening at the jetty, and all this is going to be great for the town and give enjoyment to the tourists and visitors.
Full completion of the jetty is set to be finished by mid-year. However, councils say it's still too early to provide an exact date, as work on the structure is governed by weather conditions.
We've had some minor impacts with the weather. Obviously on high wind days, a bit like today, it can impact on the work they can do.
Council workers reminding people to stay off the site and surrounding waters while construction is underway due to safety concerns. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A 21-year-old man has been arrested and charged following an unusual aggravated robbery in Port Augusta over the weekend. Early on Sunday morning, police were called to a service station on the Augusta highway. The man had allegedly assaulted a staff member with a ladle, attempted to steal cash but fled with only chewing gum. The suspect was later arrested by police after entering another service station. A Whyalla Stewart man has been arrested following a break-in at the Central Whyalla Football Club last Friday. Security patrols were first on the scene where the 28-year-old man was caught leaving the property carrying a red esky. He's currently remanded in custody for serious criminal trespass and theft of alcohol and will appear in the Whyalla Magistrates Court at a later date. Police ask anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. A recent spike in car break-ins has prompted Broken Hill Police to urge locals to be vigilant and cautious. Officers say it doesn't take much to deter would-be thieves.
An opportunistic crime on the rise in the Silver City.
The last couple of weeks, the Barry Police District, especially Broken Hill, experienced a bit of an influx in steal from motor vehicles.
A number of incidents have been reported of locals falling victim to car thieves. Police say thieves are after anything valuable, even gold coins in the drink holder.
Wallets, cameras, portable equipment, videos and things like that. Even iPads.
Reminding residents the best deterrent is to remove any valuables from your car. Failing that, hide them from plain sight.
People do steal motor vehicles. They may smash a rear quarter window. They may do something. That's completely different. Like they're out to steal your motor vehicle. But a lot of these crimes are, as I said, opportunistic and it's just a spur of the moment thing.
As always, if you see anything suspicious, contact Crime Stoppers.
We look into everything that is reported. You mightn't think we do, but we do. It just might be, as I said before, I've said it many times, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. It might be that piece in the puzzle that we need.
Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. Local artists getting on board a new motion to sell Indigenous artwork across Whyalla, and more medical technology delivered to Port Augusta Hospital. Welcome back. Bangala artists across Whyalla have shown an increasing interest in selling their artwork across the region. The push comes after City Council's recent motion encouraging more recognition for Indigenous artwork.
A picture that tells 1,000 words, these Bangala artworks are all hand-painted by Whyalla's Aboriginal women's group.
I put a motion forward about supporting local Aboriginal artists in developing some of their beautiful artwork to be able to sell.
These women are amazing women in our community, and the fact that they've come out of their shell, created these beautiful pieces and had them out for the community to have a look at is a beautiful thing.
The motion falls in line with Council's Reconciliation Action Plan with the intention to sell the artwork across town.
The Tourism Centre, some of the shops here in Whyalla and our festivals.
Many locals are eager to participate, sending in copies of their drawings and artworks. First female Aboriginal councillor Tammy Pond says it's the gap in the market that Whyalla can easily fill.
We've got some amazing talent here in Whyalla, and supporting our Aboriginal artists, it's just going to take things to another level.
And it's not just paintings, with crochet blankets, jewellery, dream catchers and glassware also up for sale.
We don't want things that are mass produced. We want things that are authentic from Whyalla, produced by our locals.
The artwork is currently on exhibition at the Middleback Arts Centre for all of February.
Some of these pieces have touched many hands in a family, which is really lovely, and been finished off by generations to be displayed on the wall. Sophia
Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The Port Augusta Hospital has switched on its newest technology installation. A new CT scan will now allow patients to be treated in town rather than having to travel.
An equipment upgrade resulting in better and quicker results for patients. A new angiogram CT scan now fully functional at the Port Augusta Hospital.
basically producing better scans at lower radiation doses.
The new scanner will enable better pictures of the brain and allow doctors to get a better understanding of what's going on.
A lot of other functions. It looks at blood vessel disease, aneurysms, blockages. So previously we weren't able to diagnose some of those conditions that wasn't available with the machine we had. So that'll be a great improvement for patients.
Patients regularly being sent to other hospitals to undergo these scans.
Previously we were sending those patients to Whyalla, now we can get them done here so that the response time will be more rapid.
Hospitals constantly rotating their equipment, this scanner coming from the Calvary Hospital in Adelaide.
It also means that we're keeping up with technology, and it's good for the region. You know, we shouldn't be looked at as a country location, we should be looked at having technology that's comparable with the city.
Overall, hoping for better patient results when coming in for their scans.
So I think it's just a greater service for the region and for the local patients in particular. And again, at a less dose. So, you know, it's doing things safer and doing them faster and doing them more up with current technology.
Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Broken Hill City Council is committing $6 million to a major project in the city's CBD. The council recently lodged a development application for its cultural precinct, a new library archive building.
It gets lodged, assessed out externally to Broken Hill. Then we can go to the government and say we are shovel ready, truly shovel ready, and you know, all we need is the funding and we can start.
Port Perry's Regional Art Gallery will be hosting an Indigenous art workshop on February next week, educating local teachers on traditional painting techniques. Teachers will have the opportunity to interact with professionals and further take the program to use with their students. Staff are encouraging schools from across the region to register for the event hosted by the Art Gallery of South Australia. More information can be found online. Coming up after the break, we'll have the weekend's cricket wrap and the weather with Brit. Thanks for joining us. Broken Hill's harness racing season kicked off over the weekend under lights at Memorial Oval. A cool change came through the Silver City by race 1, making conditions perfect for the first meeting of the season. Local drivers Cassie Robinson and Ashley Camilleri both rode winners. Races will be held across the next 4 Saturday nights. It was a wet and windy weekend for cricket across the region, with many games forced to be cancelled due to the severe weather. Despite the conditions though, the game went ahead in Port Lincoln, with Tasman battling Waybacks. Nathan Rector has this week's cricket wrap.
It might have been a cold start to the day, but things quickly heated up on the field as Tasmans battled it out against Waybacks. Waybacks won the toss and decided to bat first. It was a slow start, with the team losing 2 wickets to just 6 runs. Drew Patel helped steady the ship, smashing 47. But the Waybacks batsmen struggled to stay with Patel, with 3 others getting out. Strong bowling from Mitchell Jude managed to send Patel packing to the sheds. The strong bowler proving valuable to Tasmans, getting 4 wickets of the day. Waybacks were looking in trouble, 6 wickets gone for 78 when Patel was gone. Fortunately, good batting by the tail end saw the total pass 100 and give the side a defendable score. Tasman had no problem chasing down the runs, the latter leaders en route to a comfortable win. Peter Brown top scored with 37 off 39. Behind him was George Wilkes with a modest 30 with 1-6. Both other games in Port Lincoln were cancelled due to the weather. Around the region now, and in Port Pirie, Port Germain proved too strong for Wanderers at Memorial Oval. Wanderers batted first with Matthew Thornton, starting with a modest 28. But it wasn't enough to stop Port Germain from taking the win. The other games were also rained out. Over in Whyalla, and Rupina saw a victory over South by 6 wickets. Clay Crompton was the star with a ball, taking 2 for 6 off 9 overs. Rupina's Greg Fiebig battled solidly to guide his side home with 31 not out. North vs Central was cancelled due to the weather. Over in the Silver City, and it was South vs North. South could only muster 57 runs as the North bowling attack ripped through the order. Tom Davey had a day out, taking 5 wickets in his 4 overs. North didn't have too much trouble chasing down the target, Cody Howard and Josh Savage doing most of the scoring. The Bulldogs remain at the top of the A-grade ladder. That's it for cricket this week. I'll be back tomorrow with the rest of sport.
Now for a look at the week's weather, here's Britt Aylan.
Thanks, Louise, and good evening. It's been a mild and partly cloudy day with maximums sitting below average. Broken Hill reached 26 degrees today, Port Augusta and Port Pirie both 25, Whyalla 23, Port Lincoln 18. From the skies, we can see scattered cloud about the coast today on the wake of a front. To tomorrow, southerly winds on the waters tending southeasterly at 20 to 25 knots with seas around 1.5 metres. Sunrise at 6:42 tomorrow morning with sunset just before 25 past 8. It's looking to be a mostly sunny day about the region. Port Augusta and Port Pirie both expected to reach 29 degrees tomorrow. Woodner and Corn 28, Broken Hill and Kadina 27, Whyalla 26, Clare a top of 24, Cleve 23, Coffin Bay 22, Port Lincoln 19. Taking a quick look further through the week, a partly cloudy forecast for Port Lincoln with maximums increasing to the mid-20s later in the week. Cleve with sunny conditions on the way for Wednesday and Thursday. Woodner looking mostly sunny through the rest of the week. Whyalla, Port Augusta and Kadina all looking warm and sunny Wednesday and Thursday. Similar conditions at Port Pirie. Clare and Broken Hill both sunny on Wednesday with fine and partly cloudy conditions forecast for Thursday. And Louise, that brings me to the end of today's weather segment. It's back to you.
Thank you for that, Britt. That's your local news this Monday evening. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back later on with updates. Bye for now.